Hi. Today on Homegrown Joe we're going to be making something very special. It's Earth Day today, and since we've been cooped up in quarantine for the last couple of weeks, I think we need some probiotics. So today we're going to be making some collard green kimchi. But this ain't no average collard green. This is a perennial collard green tree, as you can see here. Look at the size of this thing. While it does flower, it's not like an annual collard green, as it doesn't die after it seeds. So this thing keeps going and going and going. And they take really well from cutting, and I've spread them all around underneath all the fruit trees and stuff. And these leaves though, whoo boy, are they tough. If this isn't a survival crop, I don't know what is. Hardly takes any water, tons and tons of super nutritious leaves, and it's perennial. And they take from cutting. I'll take a couple of these guys and I'll show you how easy it is to transplant these things. We're here by our black mulberry. We're going to put some of these collard green cuttings in. So how I do it is, we don't need this top fruiting part, so just pinch that off. These big leaves are going to die off really quick, so might as well save the energy. And just plop them in. You know, no rooting hormone, no nothing. Here underneath one of our fig trees, you can see a couple of cuttings that I put in a few months back, and they're already starting to regrow here. Did these cuttings last year. Perennial tree collards. A wonderful plant to have if you like a lot of fresh greens for your smoothies, and if you're like me, you want to do a little kimchi action. And if the insects get to them, who cares? You got so much already. Here we are in a old vegetable bed that we let go wild, and it's always fun to come into these spaces because you never know what you're going to find. Here we've got some onions that have just been going wild, and perfect because we can use some of these in our kimchi. We'll leave the roots keep growing. Perfect. This is advanced feeding techniques here. Our ingredients assembled. Okay, let's go through them. We got our collard greens here. We're going to go ahead and cut that with a little bit of Napa cabbage. Our green onions that we harvested. Got our delicious, tasty, salted shrimp sauce. Give that a whiff, boy. Smells like a public pier. Asian pear. We're going to blend this up. A little bitty carrot here. 1 small onion. 2 heads of garlic. About 1 inch of ginger. Daikon radish, we're not going to use this whole thing. Mochiko rice flour, glutinous rice flour. This is going to give us a nice kind of gummy paste to cover the leaves with. 3 crabs fish sauce, and some sugar. What's this dope pot you see here? Well, it's actually a pretty cool Chinese style fermenting vessel. Take a look at that. So you put that there, you fill this tray with water, and boom, you've got an airtight seal. Okay, first thing we need to do is prepare our leafy greens. So that's the collard green and the cabbage. This is about 3 pounds, plus or minus. Here's what I like to do is I just go on either side of these and then call that good for now. We can chop it up finer later because these are going to be salted to pull out any excess moisture along with the Napa cabbage. So we like to leave those whole at this time, just because if you chop it up fine, things will get a little salty. The bugs had a bit of this one, but you know, whatever. They get a piece, we get a piece, it's all good. Okay, put those to the side. Here's our Napa cabbage. Whoops. You want it more in the middle. And you split it like that. Give it another one. Give it a split. Give it another one. Give it a split. And Bob's your uncle. Okay, now it's time to salt these bad boys. Himalayan pink salt. But you can use whatever you want, really, because we're going to wash a lot of this off. So, take it like that. Get a pinch of salt. And then just work it in between each of these leaves here. If we're going in with fresh, super fresh cabbage, that sauce is going to get real thin. So salting it ahead of time like this will draw out that moisture. Now these collard green leaves, I'm going to really abuse them, really get it in there. They can take the abuse. And I think you all know where these are going. Okay, let's chop up our other ingredients here. I'm just going to choose, maybe will end up about a half a cup. That guy. Our carrot is what we got, but that's fine. I made one before that had a lot of carrot in it, and it ended up being very sweet. You'd be surprised how much sweetness a carrot has. Okay, this guy, we are going to cut it into circles and then matchstick it. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, then you fold it out like a deck of cards, like that. And then, nice and fine. Okay, there's our match-sticked radish. Put this on a bias, like this. And again, fold that out like a deck of cards here. Save this guy to the end. And same thing. Alright. Okay, we got our green onions that we got from the garden. Our little wild guys. I like to cut it like this, sideways. If you cut it like this, you're at Olive Garden. You cut it sideways, oh man. Now you're at Szechuan Chef. Olive Garden, Szechuan Chef. Oh, you got a little flour in there. A little flour. Throw it in, why not? They would have threw it in back in the day. Probably good luck. We'll reserve these guys for later. Now, let's work on some ingredients that are going to go in the blender. We've got an Asian pear. I could lie to you and tell you it's a Korean pear, but I don't know. Let's cut this little thing out. Give this guy a little ring around the rosy. Let's get our garlic over here. I like a lot of garlic. Hey, what do you think? 2 different varieties? Nip it off the end. It's smashing time. Then the papers just come off really easily. Now, let's get to our ginger. Fillet it like a fish. You just get your knife kind of flat on the board, just a tiny little bit, and then you can just kind of unroll it. When you're shopping at the store, try and get the big round ones. Okay. Okay, okay. Boom. That's going in. One small onion. Boom. Put that guy on. Let's put these guys in the blender. Two episodes of Repair Shop later, and wouldn't you know it, these puppies are done. See how loose they are now? That's good. Rinse it out. Okay. We are looking good. Cup of water here. Going in with a tablespoon of mochi-go. Okay, got another tablespoon of sugar of your choice. Okay, that's what we're looking for. We're doing 1/8 of a cup of our good old friend, the salted shrimp sauce. Ooh, oh, oh. Not for the faint of heart, that one. Which is 1/8 of a cup, just a tablespoon? I don't know. We're going to drain the sauce out. Okay. Chop her up. Little buddies. You gotta love fish to deal with this. Okay, this is going in our bowl. To this beautiful mixture, we're adding in our rice porridge. Fish sauce. We'll do 1/8 of a cup. Alright, let's talk about our chili flakes here. Other ones that I've got at the Korean market, but I got this at the Vietnamese market. So let's give it a little taste test actually. Oh yeah. As long as it's not like crushed red pepper that you get with your pizza. Alright, so we're going in. Let's start off with a cup. Onion, pear, ginger, garlic mixture. That's going in. Oh, that smells fantastic. It smells right. Let's give it a little taste. Salty? Sweet? Spicy? Let's do another half. Another half cup. We're not messing around here. We are not messing around. Don't go getting some friggin' chile de arbol flakes and just ruin your life. This is a very mild chili. Okay. Oh, we're right there. We're right there. These chilies have this great kind of almost like a dried fruit taste. Or maybe that's just the pear. So traditionally they're putting them in quarters like this, and then when they pull them out, that's when they'll chop them up. If you're like me, I like to sneak into the fridge, you know, 3-4 times a day and just get a bite of kimchi, you know. I'm not trying to pull out a whole deal like this and chop it up and clean a cutting board every time I want to, you know, have a bit of probiotics. Think a little once over here. Boom. Like that. And we'll make little squares out of these guys. Like that. Little nice edible squares. Like pages in a book. Okay, we're ready for the final step here. We got our, remember our onions, carrots, radish deal? That's going in to our mix. And we're not being shy anymore. We're just getting in with our hands. What have I done? We're going to be adding all this cabbage into this beautiful mixture. Put your headphones on, because this is going to get squishy. Here we're going in. Cabbage overload! We're trying to get those seasonings to penetrate, you know? Oh yeah. Now is that looking like something you'd get at Tofu House on Convoy Hallelujah. Ugh, I gotta blow my nose, but my hands are all fucking... Now, we're gonna stuff it in the hole. Now we're gonna stuff it in our very special jar here. And just get a handful, nice and tight. Try not to get it too messy, but it's kind of impossible. Boom. Drop it all in there. See you later. Smell you later. Smell you now. And as we go along, we're just going to tamp this down as much as possible. Get your hand in and just get rid of all those air pockets. Alright, let's not leave any of this to waste. We're going to store this in a cool, dry place for a day or two, and then we'll check back, and if it's properly fermented, it's got that zing, then we're going to move it to the refrigerator. And once it's in the refrigerator, it's a very slow ferment because it's so cold. So we're going to give it a head start, get it to where we like it, then we're going to stop the fermentation process in the refrigerator. Alright, here we are, just 24 hours later. This guy's already bubbling away. This is about as fermented as I like it. If you're really into the zing, you can let it go for longer, but this way, it's still got some sweetness, which I like. If you let it go for longer, that sweetness is just going to cook away, and you're going to be left with more tang, so I like it like this. Let's give it a little tasty. That's perfect. Perfect. It's got the spice, it's got the fermented zing. You know, you can just tell this thing is packed with beneficial probiotics for those quarantined guts. You can see even these big pieces of cabbage are now just bing, 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 bing. Now. Oh yeah. My favorite are the little tips. You know, the crinkly tips. I feel like they sop up more of that sauce. Oh yeah. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Homegrown Joe. And I hope you go out and take any greens you can and turn it into kimchi just like this. And next smooth move you have, you can thank Homegrown Joe.